If you've been watching or following along on my posts recently, you'll notice I've been talking quite a lot about Collab365 Toolbelt. Now, this application is like a super application that we run inside the Microsoft Teams to run the team. So if you take a look at our screen here, you'll pretty much very quickly get at the idea. This is a Power Apps application and it allows us to create repetitive tasks. Now, a lot of these tools are using AI, so they use OpenAI. And some of the tools are standalone tools that allow us to do certain things. Now, why did we do this? It's for a few reasons. The main reason is we wanted to be able to automate repetitive tasks in the business because we're only a team of 4 and we do a lot of repetitive tasks. And some of us do similar tasks, and many of us go on holiday. We have to teach the others about how to do the tasks. Whereas I wanted to consolidate it in a super app so that we can easily go there and create this task and whatever we need to do. The other reason is we are using AI quite heavily, as I'm sure you are now. The whole world's moving to AI because it's such a time saver. But what we are finding is things like ChatGPT, they're not very secure. The data isn't private. They learn from your training data. But also the big problem is when you're talking to ChatGPT, you get out of it what you put in, and that's called prompting. And so what we were finding, we were all creating little libraries on our own laptops of prompts, and they weren't being reused. So we weren't learning from each other and sharing our prompts. So I wanted a really nice way to share the prompts across the team. And then the other major reason, I do a lot of videos like this for a training company, Collab365, and I wanted some nice, big, meaty project that I could get behind and start to share with you guys how it's all built. And this application is perfect because I'm really excited about it. I've been working on it for ages. It's taken about 2 weeks to get it to this stage. So I just wanted to give you a demo. I'm going to do way more in-depth posts if you're interested about how we built this thing, what's the architecture of it, what the tools are, etc. As you can imagine, this is a Power App that's embedded inside of Microsoft Teams. It doesn't look like a Power App, I know, but we've used some of the modern tools and also a bit of design flair, and it looks absolutely stunning on mobile. And I will do a video on TikTok to show you on mobile as well. So it's all completely responsive. So you can imagine on mobile, the screen collapses. The menu is still horizontal, but you only see one row and these all wrap under each other. So it's beautifully responsive. So what can you do with this? First off, you've got the list of categories that the tools live under. You're probably going to have about 300 of these tools long term, if not more. And you need to be able to find them. So we've got search built in, so let's go back to all. And if we want to find linked, we've got some tools there for LinkedIn, tweet. Yeah, so you've got search all built in. And so you can either search or you can browse by category. To go into the individual tools, we've actually got 2 types at the moment. We've got AI tools. Now, the AI tools are doing a similar job as if you go to ChatGPT or you use something like a Claude AI. However, what we've done, when you go into this, you'll see that we've actually got this nice little form which asks the person who wants to create a TikTok video script about what they want to create the video script about. So it gives them some hints. So you might say here, I want to create a TikTok video script about driving a lorry in the rain when you're not awake. Dead stupid topic, I know. And I want the video script to be about 2 minutes long, and the audience is going to be lorry drivers. And the call to action is join our lorry mailing list. Daft example, but that's how my brain works. So what we need to do now, what's happened behind the scenes, I'll click run it because it's obviously going off to OpenAI. What's happening behind the scenes is what I've done is I've used these tokens that I've pasted here to create a much bigger prompt. And that much bigger prompt is stored in SharePoint. So all of the tools I saw you on the previous screen are all stored as tools on there. And each tool has a prompt. And the prompt has a substitution token on there, which I've now gone away and I've created a form based on that. And you would expect each tool has a Power App, but it doesn't. All the tools have one screen. And I think that's absolutely key because the last thing we want to do, we've got 300 tools. You don't want 300 screen Power Apps. It's too much to maintain. So what I did here is I built a custom component, a coded component that allows me to automatically generate this form. It needs a bit of styling there, as you can see. It allows me to automatically generate this form based on whatever we type into the prompt, which is really cool. And so you can see now we've gone off to OpenAI and we've got a script. I'm not ever going to read it, but I imagine it's a pretty good script because OpenAI is pretty decent. So that's cool. That's given us a script. And then the next thing we want to do, which I've just started this work now, but I'll just show you what the idea being. The one thing you probably want to do is once you've got this content here, is you want to be able to do something with it based on what you're doing. So for example, if a TikTok video, you were happy with that, you probably would go run command, and this is a text editor. Again, it's in Power Apps. And you might want to edit this because you might want to do some tweaks, but I've got this idea that once you've got this text how you want it, you might go off to another online service that could automatically create you a video based on this script, or you might want to turn this script into a podcast. So we've got this second idea of commands, and I'll go into this much deeper when I've actually built it, but I've got this idea that based on the output you've got from OpenAI, you might want to do these follow-on things. So for the stupid example here is you might want to send this text into LinkedIn. Obviously, it probably wouldn't work for LinkedIn, but a definite example would be you'd probably want to go and get that turned into audio. And then there's tools coming up as well where you can actually create a video, and you could send that to a video service to get that created. When it comes back, you post it into a SharePoint library, and then you can do whatever processing you want. And I think we'll have loads of these commands. If we go back, you go back to the tool, and then if we go back again, then we've got another one here, which is a standalone tool. Now, there is a small bug I need to clear out this, because obviously I say it uses the same screen. I need to clear the variables. So imagine that's blank. But what we've done here is if we go, this is a very cool example, right? Run that. I'm just going to show you what this does, because then it'll become clear. We create a lot of videos on top of YouTube and on top of TikTok. And one thing we wanted to be able to do was automate the generation of our YouTube thumbnails, because I know it doesn't sound like much, but if you've got to create thumbnails on a per video basis and you're doing 2 or 3 as a company every single day, it becomes monotonous going into separate applications like Canva and creating them and posting it up. So what we wanted to do is we want to give everything here a centralized way of controlling, like a mission control for everything we do in a business. All these stupid little 5-10 minute tasks that we do, we want to centralize them inside of Power Apps. What this is doing behind the scenes effectively, this is using an online service called Renderform, I think it is. And I've just wrapped that up into Power Automate. So I take the values from here, I send them into Power Automate over to Renderform where we've got this template saved, and then we substitute obviously that with that to create a YouTube thumbnail. So just as another example, this is a even cooler example. Let's put Collab365. I'm not being very creative today, so let's go run that. And this one doesn't take too long because it's not using OpenAI. As you probably notice in OpenAI, things can get quite slow. So there you go. It's an even cooler example. If I want, I can copy that image and I can go and post that to YouTube. And in fact, if you look at our YouTube channel, John's already done most of the videos because we haven't got YouTube thumbnails on anything. And I've got loads of ideas how we can really improve this whole service using AI as well. So that's an example of using another AI tool that actually uses the same console, the same Power Up screen as all the others. So I think this is going to be the best thing that we can ever do, is that we don't want to create one screen for every tool. And the way I've done it is because of that. That's the real goal here of what I've done, and I really like it. I'm going to improve it as well, but that's a custom coded component. If you want to follow along, then definitely check out the Collab365 Academy, because that's where I'm probably going to be sharing a lot more in-depth information, because that's where I hang out most of the time. You can join the Collab365 Academy as a community member at the time of recording this, completely free. So that's it from me. If you're interested, give me a thumbs up. If you want me to keep doing more, give me a thumbs up. If you really like it, maybe hit that subscribe.